KingMac is a proud corporate partner of Texas Tech Athletics. You're watching KingMac Red Raider Nation's Countdown to Tip-Off.
Back here on Countdown to Tip-Off, Red Raiders, Kansas Jayhawks tipping off at 1 o'clock today at United Supermarkets Arena. Red Raiders trying to avoid their first 4-game losing streak of the season. Texas Tech lost 3 in a row earlier this year. You know what they did right after that game, right?
Remind me.
You actually mentioned it earlier in the show. I'm surprised you don't remember this. Yeah, they beat #1 Louisville at the time, so capable of doing that, no doubt. If they're going to do it today, though, they'll have to take care of the basketball, something they weren't able to do earlier this week in their 71-68 loss to 4th-ranked Baylor after taking a 60-57 lead on a Kevin McCullough 3 with 2 minutes to go. Tech then turned the ball over on its next 3 possessions, only had 1 shot attempt the rest of regulation, and it was a last-second heave with 1 second to go. They finished with 20 turnovers on the night, a big part of coming up short against the Bears. That and Baylor going to the line 23 times compared to just 11 for the Red Raiders.
You know, like I trust these Big 12 officials. They're all really good at what they do, but I'd have to go back and watch the film to see exactly what was going on. But we were trying to be very aggressive on offense, as they were too. But, you know, big differential in the fouls and the free throws I thought were a big difference in the game. Then obviously our ball handling, 20 turnovers, including a lot late down the stretch, you know, was our fault tonight. And I thought Baylor did a good job, you know, with ball handling. 11 turnover game, gave them a chance. So thought our guys played really hard. Congratulate Baylor on a Big 12 win. And I thought the free throw differential and the turnovers was the difference in the game.
So you lose the Baylor in a close one, and it doesn't get much easier. Yeah. Listen, we knew this is what it was going to come down to, and why, again, losing to Texas last weekend was rough, although who hasn't lost to Texas in the past couple of weeks? Okay, so they played Baylor really close on the road recently, as in earlier this week. Played Kansas pretty similar to the way they played in Waco. Last time these two teams met, took the Kansas team down to the wire, losing by 3 last month in Lawrence. This is a Jayhawk team now, though, that is among the hottest in the nation. Hasn't lost since that point. Also worth noting that a different way that these Kansas Jayhawk teams will look compared to last one. Sylvia D'Souza, he's eligible now to return for today's game after serving that 12-game suspension. And with that, we bring back in Phil Mayer. Phil, this one is about the Jayhawks. The team out to prove last year was just, you know, bumping the road to Big 12 domination. As we come to the end of the regular season, the Jayhawks are blank.
Dominant. And, you know, Kansas is the #1 team in the nation for a reason. In Big 12 play this year, they have the most points scored and the fewest points allowed per game. That's pretty good. Point differential on the season, they're 6th in all of college basketball, and they're second, just a smidge behind Duke among power conference teams. And when you look at certain categories and things, they just do so many things well. Rebounding, they can bludgeon you on the glass with Azubuike. Their field goal percentage, 11 points higher than their opponents. And 3-pointers, they make more of those than their opponents. There's just so many things they do well and so few weak spots to pick at. And, man, Kansas is a heck of a team this season.
Down earlier, Jamias and Davide, maybe don't pick them.
Don't pick them.
Okay, so leading the league in points and being the best defensive team. Good.
The Red Raiders did shoot over 50% in their loss to Baylor. Just going to throw that out there as well. They still are they still the Big 12 leader? I mean, they can score. They just haven't scored in the last.
As long as they keep the ball and put the shot up to the rim.
Sorry, Phil. We appreciate your knowledge there. And, again, I will take that into account whenever we do the pick 3 coming up.
Unless he gets overconfident because he doesn't have the bow tie on again.
Yeah, all right. We will pick 3 a little bit later in the show. I don't feel right without the bow tie. Still the head here on Countdown to Tip-Off. Eric and I tackle some topics for today's game in Crashing the Boards.
Still ahead, Ryan Hyatt predicts the outcome of the Red Raiders' home finale against Kansas.